Hi and welcome. This time around I've got to eat some crow. Basically, you might remember this project from one or two videos ago. This was a rush project from a client, one I did not want to do. I purposely gave them a no bid the first time around and they begged me to do it because they were in a hurry, which, no problem. They're a really good client. So I did the project, but I screwed up because the project took a lot longer than I had expected, something like 9 hours to do because of the precision involved. And I set my tapping head to pre-tap all of these parts to the exact depth. And since it's a servo, it should do exactly what it thinks it's going to do and get the depth right. Well, it turns out I did that and with a bottoming tap, and then didn't bother measuring the threads. And the specs on the threads are plus or minus 20 thousandths full threads, which is insane. So, to my embarrassment, all of these are the same and the threads aren't quite deep enough. So I have to add about 100 thousandths to each of the threads because it turns out the bottoming tap, the spiral flute bottoming tap that I used had like 2 lead-in threads. So that was enough to put me off. So now I need to fix that, and that's what we're here to do. It's really embarrassing that I didn't check it, but I was so long into this project and it was late at night that I finished, and I had a ton of work the next 2 days of my weekend that I thought, oh, it'll be close, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. No excuse. I screwed up. Should have measured the thread depth, and I could have fixed it. Now, unfortunately, the power tapping head, I can't use it to get the depth right the second time around because the tap has to pre-engage at a certain point on this diameter, and it measures by how many rotations it does. So if it has to do a half a rotation before it finds the thread, then I'll be off by half a rotation, or less than that, it'll be closer to correct, and more than that, it'll be farther from correct. So now I'm going to have to hand tap all these, but I need to make a thread gauge first, a depth gauge. So I bought some M12 by 1.75 bolts, and I'm going to turn this down and to the exact length it needs to be, and the rest of it will be for the drill motor to drive it in real quick just to see what my depth is, to double check. I'm going to check each one of these as I go. So that's what happened. I have no good excuse for this, and the worst part is it inconvenienced my client because they were in a hurry, and now they had to postpone doing this till tomorrow, so I'm going to stay up tonight and get this done for them, obviously at no charge, but still they're inconvenienced, and that's totally uncool and unacceptable. So that's where we're at right now. First up, I'm over here at the bandsaw. I'm going to cut the head off this bolt. And then I'm going to chuck this guy up in a 5C collet with the thread side out, and I'm going to reduce the diameter of this inside part to be less than the inside, the minor thread depth, so that it can just screw in as far as it wants to go. And then I will put a flange at the proper depth. So first we're just going to cut this off. I won't be able to show you because I need my hand for this, but that's where we're going. All right, so we cut the head off this. Now I'm going to chamfer this so it'll fit in a 5C collet, and we'll continue. First step is I'm going to square off the bottom of this. They want 1.496 plus or minus 20 for the thread depth, full thread depth. Now, if this were a CNC machine, this would be trivial. On a manual, all of these things become much harder. They could have thread milled it to a specific depth and repeated it every time. For me, this becomes more of a challenge. So I am going to square off the bottom of this bolt, and then I'm going to give the thread just a slight chamfer so I can get a lead in on it, but that's gonna screw up my measurement. Maybe I'll leave it flat and I can see if I can start it. It might be hard though. I think the only thing I'm going to do is just take a little bit of the sharpness off this thread. Hopefully this will count as a full thread. I don't know how else to do it. Okay. Hopefully that'll start fine. So this bottom's flat. So now I'm going to pull this part out. What I'm doing here is making a thread gauge. So I need 1.5 for sure. So we're going to reduce that so I've got something to chew on, as it were. I put the thickness of the cutting tip on there. It's 0.129. So we set our 0. We're going to go negative 0.129. Reset my 0. Okay, so first we're just going to relieve these threads. I'm going to go below the minor depth. So in order to make sure I hit that, I'm going to start in the threaded area. There we go. So I've got an obvious line there, but this will allow it to go in deeper in case I make the thread depth too much. I'll be able to see it, which is good. Okay. I just want to chamfer that lead out just a little bit. Good tool to get in there is the threading tool itself. Now I'm going to flip this guy around so I can continue to remove this, because I'd like to chuck this guy up in the drill motor so I can get it in and out faster, if that makes sense. I've got the part reversed, the thread side in. Kind of did it backwards because I reduced this diameter. Should have done it first with it leaving it thicker so that I'd have more to hold on to, because now I don't have anywhere near as much meat, and if I push too hard I could break this thing off. Gotta tell you, I'm gonna get a D for what I'm doing here. I could have done a much better job with this. I didn't think about it enough ahead of time because, again, I'm in a hurry. They need this by tomorrow. Okay, that should work. So this end will go in the drill chuck, drive the threads in, and that line where that lip is where my 1.494 is. Well, I screwed up and didn't calculate the thickness of my parting tool. I did include it and I shouldn't have, because that was the wrong edge. So that was really stupid. But it turns out that that might have been a hard way to find the depth anyways. So hopefully this little blue line will be a better way. So I took my other parting tool, went in the proper distance this time. This edge right here is 1.494, and hopefully that'll stand out enough. I put blue Sharpie in there and then cleaned off the Sharpie on the outer surface. So I think I should be able to see that all right. Just trying to measure this approximately. I need plus or minus 20 thousandths, so that should be no problem. And there we go. So now if I can visually pick that up, we'll be okay. I don't know how easily you can see this, but here's what got me. This is supposedly a bottoming spiral flute tap, but look at that. It's got 2 starter threads. There's your distance right there. So what I need to do is effectively grind one flat to make a bottoming tap and take it down a little bit further. So hopefully you can see I've got quite a bit to go in. Hopefully grinding this tap down so to make it a bottoming tap. This was a spiral point flat tap, and I ground it to make it a bottoming tap. Hopefully that will work. Holy moly. Yeah, we got to go in a long way. The reason I put this with a shank is so that I could take it in and out quickly and test each one. But once I get my depth, hopefully I'll be able to find it again each time. I had to go back to the original tap. This one would not cut, and it was just breaking. So this one cut just fine. And I actually overshot. I didn't think I was going to do that, but that's a lot overshot. I will just let them know that one's overshot, and we're going to figure out how many turns I need to do on the next one and count. This was a spare anyways. This one's somewhat different, but it looks like I got to do 4 rotations after it gets tight. Okay, it spun freely till I got here. Now it's tight. It's actually quite a bit of force to tap this, and we'll make 4 revolutions coming back to here. We did 4 rotations. Looks like we still need to do a couple. Maybe 2. I think I got it right, so I put some electrical tape to mark the depth, and we'll see if that's close. All right, there we go. Now I just need to repeat this over and over. Right, so we think we got it dialed in here. There you go, that looks really good. All right, so here's the last one, wrapping it up. Obviously I don't have to worry about corrosion too much, I just don't want them to get damaged. This is stainless steel, 304, so probably not gonna rust. I'm gonna give them the gauge, the depth gauge I made. That helped a lot. It took me almost 2 hours to get all this done. Yeah, that's it. Well, I learned my lesson, but it cost me because my reputation took a ding that I wasn't careful and measure every value on the sheet with it to match specs that were given to me. And I feel really embarrassed about this. It was really unfortunate. I know better. I'll just do better next time, but you know, you can't get back what you lost if you ding your rep. You know, at a minimum, you got to make good on it, which I did. But I did hold the customer up a day, which is not good. Thanks for watching. Hope you find it useful. Hope you won't repeat my mistakes.